In the spirit of the New Year's celebration, we're going to pop the corks on some of the sport's biggest managerial questions with a little segment called, Is it bubbly or is it flat? So I'm going to name a manager and you're going to tell me whether their tenure with their team is bubbly and going to be okay, make it through the year, or that it's going to fall flat and they could be in jeopardy. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds like a plan to me, for sure.
All right, let's start in New York, a team you know full well about, Terry Collins and the Mets. How do you see 2017 for him?
I think for Terry Collins, it's bubbly. It's amazing to me that there's even any question about Terry Collins, but there is, and we hear it all the time, all the chatter. I mean, here's a guy who last year took a team to the playoffs for the second time in a row after going to the World Series in 2015. They lost 3/4 of their infield. They lost 60% of their starting rotation to injury, and yet they overcame all of that adversity and battled into the wild card game. Terry Collins represents the organization well. He communicates well. He holds the players accountable, and his team fights and wins. He does everything you want, so 100% bubbly for Terry Collins.
All right, how about a team that was 5 games under 500 and finished 25 games behind the Cubs in the Central, Clint Hurdle and the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Well, I think it's bubbly for Clint Hurdle as well. Now, I don't think the team is going to be a playoff team in 2017, but Hurdle's job is safe. He's one of the game's best managers, one of the best communicators, maybe the best motivator in Major League Baseball today. He speaks in Hurdleisms, really, where everything's kind of a cliche and a motivational speech. His players respond. They've got adversity going into the season already with the Andrew McCutchen situation, but nobody better to handle that than Clint Hurdle. So I think he can be in Pittsburgh as long as he wants to be there, regardless of the outcome, because the process is so well done. Hurdle is bubbly.
All right, let's switch to the American League. A.J. Hinch in Houston. The Astros finished just short of a wild card berth a year ago.
I think this is going to be flat, and here's why. I like what they've done so far this offseason. I mean, they're an improved team. Carlos Beltran, Brian McCann certainly have improved their club and added to the offense. But the bottom line is, if they don't improve the pitching, they're not going to be able to get to the playoffs or advance in the playoffs. They've spent a lot of money improving offense, and they've left the one major void. Charlie Morton is not enough of an addition to their pitching staff. So I think expectations are huge from the Astros this year. And when there's big expectations and not enough personnel, it makes the champagne flat.
How about a team that got knocked out early in the playoffs a year ago, a team that traded for Chris Sale just a few weeks ago? A lot of pressure on John Farrell in Boston. How's he going to hold up?
I think it's going to be a bubbly year for him. And the champagne, he's going to toast and enjoy the 2017 season. I mean, obviously, Chris Sale is a huge difference maker for them. Mitch Moreland at first base, a Gold Glove first baseman. They add to the bullpen as well in Tyler Thornburg. So they've addressed some significant needs for their team. Their young players are going to keep getting better. And I think that the organization fully supports John Farrell, as they've not only is he there for 17, they went out and exercised the 2018 option when they didn't really need to. And I think it's a strong statement that they believe he's the right man to move this team forward, and he certainly has the roster to win. I think they're the team to beat right now in the American League. So for John Farrell, some bubbly champagne.
Steve, how about Joe Girardi in New York? How much more rope do the Steinbrenners give him?
Oh, I think that they appreciate Joe Girardi very, very much, and they know that he can manage that veteran team to win now. He's also showing that ability to manage the young rosters as well. Remember, he was in South Florida with the Marlins, did an exceptional job before he kind of had a run-in with the front office down there. But he can manage any kind of player. So I think the champagne will be flowing, not champagne to drink to celebrate in 17, but it's bubbly for Girardi. And at some point, he will still be the manager that takes them through this reconstruction process back to the championship process. He's there to stay.